The movie begins, in a captivating scene by the beach. We observe a couple named Roman and Lisa, enveloped in the serene ambiance of the shoreline. Through their presence, we are transported to a glimpse of the past, delving into Roman's personal history. The narrative unfolds as Roman's perspective shifts from the present moment to his bygone days. The purpose behind this intriguing temporal journey promises revelation as the story progresses. Transitioning to the present, our attention turns to Roman who, alongside his brother Albert, embarks on a hiking adventure through a dense forest. Accompanying them are three friends, Peter, Vincent, and Stephen. This forest expedition has a special motive: to celebrate Roman's impending wedding with a bachelor's escapade. Of the group, Stephen stands out as the guide, having frequented the forest with his father in the past. During a pause in their hike, a distant gunshot reverberates through the air. Initially dismissed as potentially originating from a hunter, this sound casts a faint shadow over their enjoyment. Unknown to them, an enigmatic observer surveils Roman and his companions from a distance. The identities of these individuals remain elusive, adding an air of mystery to the unfolding events. As the hike progresses and the group retraces their steps to their vehicle, an unexpected discovery awaits: a cloth unicorn resting near a tree. The inexplicable presence of this toy in the forest raises questions, though the group's reaction remains muted. Albert picks up the toy, an act that carries significance yet to be unveiled. However, tranquility shatters when another gunshot pierces the air, and this time, Vincent is wounded, blood staining his hand. Swiftly tending to Vincent's injury, urgency envelops the group. Fearing for their safety, they hustle Vincent into the car, administering first aid. With no time to spare, they speed away, the assailant's aim unmistakably targeted at Vincent. But escape proves elusive as a tire is punctured by a precisely aimed shot, stalling their flight. Faced with a dire predicament, the group's only option is to flee on foot. Amidst the forest's towering trees, a plan takes shape. Albert attempts to contact the authorities, seeking rescue from their perilous situation. However, network signals remain elusive, rendering their communication efforts futile. The group's collective thoughts churn as they contemplate their options. An opportunity materializes in the form of an alternative route out of the forest. Guided by Stephen's knowledge, they navigate through the labyrinthine woods, desperately seeking an exit. In the midst of their expedition, an unexpected turn of events transpires when Albert's foot becomes ensnared in a concealed hole in the earth. Struggling to free himself, this endeavor inflicts a minor injury upon his foot. Remarkably, this incident stirs a recollection in Roman's mind, as his gaze fixates on the unfolding scenario. Roman's thoughts wander back to a time when he was accompanied by his girlfriend, Lisa, who would later become his wife. During that bygone escapade, Roman also suffered an injury to his foot. The narrative seamlessly shifts between past and present as their surroundings morph. Now, standing at the forest's edge, their attention is captivated by an enigmatic woman positioned beside a river. Their collective strides draw them nearer to her, their appeals for assistance resonating across the expanse. Yet, a disconcerting twist takes shape as the woman pivots toward them, her movement revealing a firearm lying nearby. In an instant, it dawns upon them that the shots they had fired earlier were directed at this very woman. The presumed quarry, it turns out, is now the hunter. The unfolding turmoil crescendos as the woman mercilessly dispatches Stephen with a single, fatal shot. Panic takes hold, and their instinct for self-preservation propels them to scatter in all directions, fleeing the perilous scene. In this tumultuous flight, the woman refrains from unleashing a fresh barrage of bullets, opting instead to scrutinize Stephen's lifeless form. For the first time, her countenance comes into focus, allowing an intimate glimpse of her features. Meanwhile, Roman and his companions seek refuge, concealing themselves from her piercing gaze. Amidst the tense lull, Albert inspects his wounded foot, which has been exacerbated during the frantic escape, rendering his mobility compromised. As the group deliberates their next move, Peter suggests a strategy of dispersion to elude the woman's relentless pursuit. The idea finds resistance, primarily from Albert who, hindered by his injury, struggles to maintain pace. Undeterred by disagreements, the group embarks forward together, spurred by a shared urgency to survive. Their tumultuous flight leads them to a humble cottage nestled within the forest's embrace. Inside, a lady of the establishment offers a sliver of respite. An entreaty for police assistance resonates through the air, met with a disheartening revelation that cellular connectivity is absent in this wooded enclave. In lieu of mobile communication, the suggestion of a landline call emerges, prompting Albert to initiate contact with the authorities. Vincent seizes the moment to satiate his hunger, partaking in sustenance while Albert engages with the police, recounting their dire circumstances. Abruptly, a gunshot shatters the uneasy stillness, feeling the lady receptionist in its wake. Shocked witnesses observe her sudden demise, spurring Roman, Albert, and Peter to seek refuge anew, cognizant of the imminent threat. Once more, the cycle of pursuit and evasion unfolds, as they narrowly evade the woman's relentless assault. The dire situation escalates when Vincent falls, a bullet grazing his neck, leaving him prone on the ground. The group's fate hangs by a thread as they navigate the treacherous landscape, their flight fraught with danger and uncertainty. The series of events that unfolded led to a critical moment where he found himself lying on the ground. Following this incident, Albert and Peter felt compelled to instruct Roman to leave Vincent behind and escape through the rear exit. However, Roman was reluctant to abandon his friend. Despite his initial hesitation, Roman managed to reach Vincent in an attempt to assist him. Tragically, before he could provide aid, another gunshot rang out, striking Vincent's head and ending his life abruptly. The weight of this loss bore heavily upon Roman, leaving him devastated. In their bid for survival, the trio managed to flee the scene, but an added complication arose as Albert's leg wound worsened, severely impeding his ability to walk. Meanwhile, the relentless pursuer, known as the Lady Killer, continued her search for them within the surrounding jungle. This constant threat forced the three to forego any chance of respite. Determined to safeguard their lives, they pressed forward, supporting the injured Albert as best they could. As they continued their escape, the ominous figure of the Lady Killer materialized once more. The trio's attempt to flee was in vain as the Lady Killer confronted them, wielding a firearm. Surrender seemed inevitable, yet the Lady Killer refrained from pulling the trigger, indicating an intention beyond immediate death. This momentary reprieve prompted the three to make a daring escape, with the Lady Killer in relentless pursuit. Roman's quick thinking diverted their pursuers' attention, providing the group with a fleeting advantage. The tension of the chase led them to a peculiar location adorned with abandoned houses and children's toys, a small park that time had forgotten. Here, Albert's wounded leg forced him to halt and rest, his condition worsening. Amidst the chaos, Stephen's frustration boiled over, resulting in a heated altercation with Albert. Roman intervened, emphasizing the need for unity in their dire circumstances. Stephen's anger persisted, and Roman disclosed the true motivations behind his actions. Avenging his girlfriend, Lisa, who had suffered at the hands of Albert's brother. This revelation left Roman shaken and seeking answers from Albert. However, Albert attempted to avoid the subject, believing their current predicament took precedence. This evasion only fueled Roman's frustration, prompting him to distance himself from Albert temporarily. His solitary exploration led him to a nearby house. An unexpected discovery unfolded. The residence belonged to none other than the Lady Killer, Eva, as Roman discovered through an article in her possession. This article recounted a tragic incident where Eva's child lost their life in a forest accident several years prior. Further investigation revealed a video on a laptop that documented the events leading to Eva's profound grief. A group of intoxicated hikers had encountered Eva by a riverbank, culminating in a fatal gunshot that claimed her child's life. This revelation shed light on Eva's relentless pursuit of vengeance. Her anguish and shattered mental state drove her to eliminate those she deemed responsible for her son's death. The pieces of the puzzle finally fell into place for Roman as he comprehended the haunting past that had driven Eva's actions. The devastating loss of her child had irreversibly altered her psyche, leading her down a path of violence and retribution against those she perceived as her child's murderers. In the pursuit of vengeance, Eva's sole objective becomes to eliminate Roman and his companions, her intention being their demise. Amidst this tense conflict, a pivotal moment unfolds when Roman discovers a small chamber belonging to Eva's child. Within its confines rest an array of toys that belong to Eva's offspring. This revelation connects back to the earlier scene in the film featuring a unicorn, symbolizing Eva's child. The narrative takes a gripping turn as Stephen, venturing alone through the forest, is suddenly struck down by a gunshot, leaving him incapacitated. The resounding report of the gunshot compels Roman to emerge from his abode, tracing the trajectory Stephen had taken. Albert, Roman's friend, instinctively follows him into the unknown. Converging at the location where Stephen lay wounded, they find Eva standing, armed, and confronting them. An impulsive rush to rescue Stephen propels Roman towards the line of fire, only for Albert to intervene, preventing Roman's advance. Regrettably, this intervention results in Albert lethally shooting Stephen. In the midst of these tumultuous events, Eva's relentless pursuit takes an unexpected twist as she targets Roman, gravely injuring him in the process. Displaying remarkable resilience, Roman manages to carry the injured Albert and seek refuge, eventually leading to Albert's loss of consciousness. As Roman assesses the situation, he endeavors to determine if there's any cellular network available for communication, leading him to explore Albert's phone. To his dismay, Roman discovers not a functional network, but rather explicit images and messages involving Lisa, Roman's girlfriend. This revelation triggers a flashback, unveiling that Albert had betrayed Roman's trust by engaging intimately with Lisa in Roman's absence. This act, Roman deduces, was a calculated scheme driven by Albert's ulterior motives of gaining leverage for his entrepreneurial aspirations. Confronted with this betrayal, Roman confronts Albert, resulting in a physical altercation where Albert is rendered unconscious. Despite their strained relationship, Roman is unwilling to abandon his brother in the forest. This familial bond compels him to carry Albert forward, persevering in the face of adversity. However, their journey is impeded by Eva's looming presence, as she readies herself for a final confrontation. Strategizing to approach Eva from behind, Roman seizes a knife and stealthily advances towards her location atop a mountain peak. Eva's vigilance foils Roman's plan, and she shoots him in the leg. The confrontation transforms into a poignant exchange as Roman reveals his understanding of the tragedy that befell Eva's child. Witnessing her child's toy, Eva experiences a surge of emotion, and Roman seizes this moment to disarm her. Roman's unexpected action of relinquishing the gun prompts Eva to confront the weight of her actions, leading her to make a fateful decision. Filled with remorse for the innocent lives she has taken, Eva takes a drastic step, ending her own life by leaping from the mountain peak. The film's conclusion centers on Roman, now perched atop the mountain, finding solace and peace. The serene scene symbolizes his internal journey and resolution. As the screen fades to black, the audience is left with this powerful image, marking the culmination of a tumultuous and emotionally charged narrative.